I want to talk to you about life. It's just too difficult to be alive, isn't it? And try to function. There are all these people to deal with. I tried to buy a can of tuna fish at the supermarket, and there was this person standing right in front of where I wanted to reach out and get the tuna fish. And I waited a while to see if they'd move, and they didn't. They were looking at the tuna fish too, but they were taking a real long time on it, reading the ingredients on each can. Like there was some pretty boring book, if you ask me, but nobody has. So I waited a long while and they didn't move, and I couldn't get to the tuna fish cans, and I thought about asking them to move, but then they seemed so stupid not to have sense that I needed to get by them, that I had this awful fear that it would do no good at all. And they'd probably say something like, "We'll move when we're goddamn ready, you nagging bitch." And then what would I do? And so then I started to cry out of frustration quietly so that I did not disturb anyone. And still, even though I was softly sobbing, this stupid person didn't grasp that I needed to get by them, and I reached over with my fist and I brought it down real hard on his head and screamed, "Would you kindly move, asshole?" And the person fell to the ground and looked totally startled, and some child nearby started to cry, and I was still crying, and I couldn't imagine making use of the tuna fish now anyways, so I shouted at the child to stop crying. I mean, it was drawing too much attention to me. And I ran out of the supermarket, and I thought, I'll take a taxi to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I need to be surrounded with culture right now, not tuna fish. I really wanted to be Zhang. Big surprise. And I had it in my head that it mattered, you know, to me. Like it really mattered in the cosmos kind of way. Like it was going to convince me or complete me or something. I don't know. I just had it in my head, and at some point I think it took over who I was. And I didn't really see that. And even if I had, I don't think that I would have thought that it was such a bad thing. But it was a bad thing. I remember when you announced, the second you announced, I just knew that that was going to be my moment, you know? Like you say, we will all have that moment, our moment in the sun. And I had this ridiculous vision of me on that role, on that stage, in that sun. So I worked and worked, and sometimes I would lose myself in the idea that I already had it, you know? Before any audition, before anything. It was mine, her, the character, the moment. So, as you can imagine, when the cast list went up, I was upset, sad, angry, confused, delusional, dysfunctioning, if that's a word. But most of all, I was lost. And because of that, because I felt wronged, I said those things, those terrible, awful things about you. And what I need you to know, what I would like you to know, if that's even possible, is that I don't even feel that way. And I don't actually know where any of that came from. I mean, it came from me. I said it, but I don't know what place inside of me thought that that would be okay. And well, I'm just so... The thing is, you kept me in this show, this department, and I'm not exactly sure why or how, but you kept me. And I don't know how you did that, but I want to, Mr. Williams. I am embarrassed by what I did and what I said, and more importantly, I think I am inspired. I'm not going to enter the conservatory in the fall. I keep hearing you know, barking from the back of the house or standing in that support hallway with my eyes closed during warm-ups, or anywhere. Building character isn't pretending to be something you're not. It's realizing someone that you are. And well, I realize something in all of this, and if that person that I became is a person that I can be or could be in the face of being cast or not being cast, well, it's not the person that I ever want to be again. I talked with my parents and I've decided to take the year off and pursue some service work. And then when I come back, if I'm well, I'd like to reapply as an education major. Don't get me wrong, my father is thrilled, but I am sorry, Mr. Williams. I am so terribly sorry. I didn't actually come here today to ask you for your forgiveness, because I'm not sure I deserve it. But I did come because I wanted to tell you that I intend to deserve it. Hi? I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine.
That's good. Good.
You're a senior, right?
Yes, I am.
Excited to graduate?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Can I just sit here?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Are you gonna stay?
Yes. Just because you're a senior doesn't mean you can kick me out. I was here first.
Well, sure, but this is kind of my spot. Like, I always come here. It's just, it's important to me.
I think we can both sit here if it's really important to you.
But it's important that I'm here alone.
Great, but I'm here right now, and I want to be alone just as much as you do, I guess.
Okay, sorry. Whatever.
It's fine. I was just in the middle of thinking about something.
Oh, that's okay. I get it.
Yep.
So, you are staying.
Yes, I am. You asked if you could sit here, I can take that back.
That would be so rude.
Yeah, you can't sit here. I just I just really need to be alone and think, and I can't do that with you breathing down my neck.
What? Just because you're in the middle of a thought doesn't mean you own this spot.
Yeah, well, you don't own it either. Can't you go elsewhere?
Nope. This is the spot. I have to be right here.
Why? Why do you have to be right here when I am already sitting?
Because this is important to me. This spot. I can't go somewhere else.
What can be really so important about this one spot?
My dad used to bring me here to see the stars. I have to be here, okay?
Why doesn't your dad take you someplace else?
Because he's gone. That's why I have to be here. I'm here to think. And remember him, I guess.
Oh, sorry.
Whatever. It was a while ago. I'm okay.
I had no idea. I'm sorry.
I said whatever. If this spot isn't important to you, then you should move.
I'm here for the stars too. I can't see the stars from the other side. You would know that.
Sure, as soon as I mention the stars, you're here for the stars. Please, just let me have the spot.
I really am here for the stars. And you aren't the only person who's here for someone.
Oh, come on. You just don't want to give up the spot.
I don't want to give up the spot. You're right. But I'm not lying.
I really don't want to hear you pour your heart out to me.
Well, I really don't want to pour my heart out to you.
Good.
Good.
But I still don't have to believe you.
Oh my god.
What? I don't get why you want this spot.
I have to see the stars. There's nowhere else where you can see the stars.
Light pollution?
Yeah, it sucks.
When I was younger, I could see stars from my backyard, but now there are all these street lights.
You can't see the stars from anywhere.
Exactly. When the lights started being installed, that's when my dad started bringing me here. He's going to teach me all of the constellations.
I know the constellations.
Oh my gosh, you're so lucky? That's why you need to see the stars?
Yeah, that's why. And I can't focus on them if I know you're right there.
Are we really back on that?
Yes, we really are. You're just here to look at the stars. I'm studying. The constellations, it's important.
I am not just looking at the stars. I come here alone to think.
And I came here alone to think. I guess your dad didn't teach you how to share either.
What? That's not fair.
I'm sorry.
That's not an okay thing to say.
I'm sorry, I didn't think before speaking.
I'm okay. Well, now you have to give me the spot.
Not giving me the spot.
Well, then you have to teach me about the constellations. I think that's a fair trade.
My brother taught me the constellations 6 years ago.
Oh.
It was a Boy Scout camping trip. I memorized all of them. I obsessed over all of them, so I could show him that I knew them.
He was really smart, right?
He was, and I always wanted to be like him. He could name every constellation, even the obscure ones.
Can you?
Not yet. But I have to learn them. I have to. You knew him?
He was in my chem class. We worked on the lab together one time.
Oh, yeah. I think I knew that.
It happened earlier this year, right?
Yeah, it did. I thought I might... I don't know.
You thought you wouldn't get this far and be okay, but you also didn't think that it would still feel so raw.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It never stops feeling raw, really. At some point, you just don't think about it all the time.
I want to stop thinking about it constantly. That would be so horrible. Just forget him. It would be disrespectful.
It's not forgetting. It's moving on with your life.
What if I don't want to move on?
You don't really have much choice. It'll happen whether you want it to or not. But there'll be little things. It's important to have something, anything, to remind you of them. Like a song, a food, a place.
Will I ever be able to look at stars again? And have them just be stars, not millions of reminders of my dead brother?
No, probably not.
As painful as it is, I guess I'm kind of glad that I do have all those reminders.
Yeah, stars are good for grief.
It's not grief, it's remembrance.
Sure, stars are good for remembrance. They remind us that no matter how big a problem feels, it's never really that big because we are so, so small.
We are, aren't we? Small, tiny specks on a tiny floating rock.
Exactly. Somehow that's comforting.
I guess it is.
Because at least we're a bunch of tiny specks all together.
And that is better than being alone.
It is. Even though it's hard to admit.
I'm sorry I tried to take over your spot.
Don't worry about it. I'm sorry I tried to kick you out in the middle of a thought.
I'm glad you were here. I don't know if I needed your help, but this was helpful anyway.
I'm glad I showed up.
Oh my god.
What?
I totally just poured my heart out, like we both didn't want to happen.
Whatever. I think it's okay. I mean, of course it's okay. You needed to.
I did need to. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know we don't talk at school or anything, but if you need anything, you can talk to me.
I will, thanks. Well, I guess I'll get going. You can get some alone time here.
Oh, no, I'm okay. You don't need to leave.
I got time alone, you should get some. I'll see you around.
Wait, the constellations. You have to tell me what some are. The trade?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Come on, sit here. All right, I'm ready.
You see those 6? Almost a straight line?
There?
Yeah, those. That's the Lynx. And right next to it, the kite shape, that's Ursa Minor.
I see it. You said you didn't know obscure ones. I haven't heard of any of those.
Those aren't obscure, you just don't know any constellations.
Well, that's fair. Wait, where's the Morning Star? My dad told me something about that one.
Oh, that's Sirius. It's part of Canis Major, which is right below the horizon right now.
So we can't see it now, but we'll be able to eventually, right?
Not tonight, but eventually.
You'll have to show it to me. We'll come back here when it's visible and you can point it out.
Yeah, I think that would be really great.
Awesome. What's that?